So back into our presentation that I have for you, my inspiration is this. I love this quote. A living your design teacher is a guide to awakenness. This is what you're here to do. Living your design, he called it living design in the first class. It's a great trip because your responsibility in that is that you're here to help wake people up, not train them as professionals. This is the only spiritual course you will find in human design. You're here to wake people up. That's your job. That's your responsibility. So if you're excited about that, I'm really glad that you're here because that's my excitement too. As a Living Your Design guide, it is the forefront of all of the human design community. You are the first person that people most likely meet because we have the most Living Your Design guides. It's a lot easier and faster to get into guide as a certification as opposed to analyst, which takes some time. You're the first wave of people that are bringing this information out into the world. So in order for you to have this system be something that is really truly profound for the other person in that engagement, the first thing that you need to do is make sure that you're following your own authority first and foremost and always, because people learn through your example. They learn from the experience that they have with you, that this is a logical, practical system. It's not about beliefs. It's not fairy tale. It is helping them to make decisions that are correct for their genetic potential, right? So that's all human design is. Somebody comes to you and says, well, what is it? All you say, you don't have to go into it's this and that, this and that, and this, because it's not the components. What it is as a whole is this is how you make decisions that you can trust. Simple. So as I go through this process, I'm going to be using a lot of my stories, my experience personally of teaching this knowledge. I love the groups. And so as I share my vulnerable experiences of being a teacher and a guide, I'm leading by example to help empower you in your own process. Your process may look very different from mine because your design is very different from mine. So I'm going to pass on what I know to be true about the mechanics to you to help you be successful in this process. This way of making decisions that you trust and the mechanics is something that don't have to be argued with. But you do have to know enough about the information that you can see it for truth and you just lay it out there and you don't ask people to believe in you or because of something that you say. You always need to put it back on them rather than giving advice. You should do this, you should do that. It has to be, well, how does that feel to you? Or what do you think? What do you think about if you're trying to get a mental projector to talk to you? You speak to their design. And I'm going to have a whole session on this where we're talking to that person's design based on their circuitry. Because this is their genetic code and we want you to help them unlock their own code. It's not about a power trip. Like, I know more than you, so I'm telling you this is the way it is. Enter into it with a level of curiosity. What's this like for you? And here's another quote from Ra. Mind isn't for turning off. It's not bad. It's for aligning, he says. It's for correcting. We have great minds, he says. They're beautiful things. But mind is not there to be your enemy for life. It isn't. It's here to serve. It's here to express you. So oftentimes in the beginning, if you listen to older Ra stuff, he hammers at the not self, and you're going to have to take your own stance. However it is that you communicate, you'll just naturally do that. So when you go into making mind your servant, you watch, you witness what's going on inside of your body, inside of your mind, and you detach from any association of ownership with that thought. So every single open center in your design, I need you to be so aware of what those thematics represent so that you do not attach ownership for yourself to make your personal decisions from that openness. This is the thing that you need to do for yourself and you need to teach to your students so that they do not get confused anymore. And it takes a long time to decondition. So it's not just this, oh, I come, I do Living Your Design, and then I'm done. I'm living my design. You know that's not true. You know it takes time. So you have to role model it yourself. In order to make mind your servant, we need to see the beauty of mind and what it does. So when I teach living your design, if you have not taken living your design with me, I teach it the way I learned at Human Design America from Genoa Bliven. And Genoa Bliven has a recommendation of doing something called wild mind writing. So that's one of the things that we're going to talk about next week. Wild mind writing, how do you implement it? What's most supportive? I do not require it of my students, but over the years, as I've gone through this process, the people who really get the most benefit either will do wild mind writing, or if they're a mental projector, processing authority, they're talking about what they're learning in class with a sounding board with someone else. Okay, so when you go through my Living Your Design Awakening experience as an audit participant, I want you to do the wild mind writing if you can. Like, I really strongly suggest it. And then bring what you've learned to class. And that's your training, is going through this process again with me at a different level of awareness. Ross says, so many people have read all kinds of spiritual wisdom, but it does nothing effectively for their lives because that wisdom has no place to settle within their being. They are not themselves. How can anything grow in that soil? It settles into the not self and it just gets filtered away into nothing. It means nothing, that wisdom stuff that they read, you know, the books and whatnot. You cannot live out what does not belong to you, the openness. You can live in that charade, but it doesn't do you or anyone any good. Inside, you always know that it is a lie and that it is not real.